Wall Street Bets is kind of a cesspool, but it's a great place to see some big wins and losses. So today we're going to check out the dankest trades. Let's kick things off with dank trade number 5. On January 30th, 2019, Jerome Powell unexpectedly took a dovish turn on interest rates. Just before the speech, Redditor madrigalisrael took a multi-million-dollar bet that Amazon stock would rise. Our man hit it right on the head and stocks rocketed higher during Jerome Powell's speech. The incredibly ballsy bet paid off when Amazon stock rose over $70 during the course of a few hours. Madrigalisrael's absolute barbarism netted him over $7.5 million in one day. He decided to send Jerome Powell some macaroons. I think it's only fair. Moving right along to dank trade number 4. On March 27, 2019, the S&P 500 ETF was trading around 279.65, and some chump named World Chaos just knew it was going higher. He went full kamikaze and took a $54,000 bet that it would go up above 283 within just 2 days. He said, "What's 50K to an MFer like me? Would you please remind me?" Well, the market reminded him real quick what 50,000 is because it did not go above 283. To World Chaos, $50,000 is worth absolutely zero. Let's check out dank trade number 3. On March 18th, the Spider was trading for 282.33. Some degenerate named briandarwell decided today was his day. The poor guy bet over $4,000 that the Spider was going to rise above 284 that same day. He got on a flight with no Wi-Fi for 3 hours, and by the time he landed, his money was gone. Nice trade, Brian. But of course it could be worse. He could have been flying on a 737 MAX. What must have really been frustrating to Brian is that less than a week later, his strike price did get hit, and if he had bought an expiration further out, his position would have been worth almost $100,000. Now let's check out dank trade number 2. On February 20th, Carvana was trading for about 36.14. A madman with the username ComeAtMe went hard by betting $16,000 that Carvana would rise above 41.65 by March 15th. That's a move of over 15%. By the time ComeAtMe closed his position on March 12th, Carvana had gone up a whole 46.5% to 53.10. He took an absolutely crazy amount of risk, and he did have a few other options going at the same time, but in terms of Carvana, he was rewarded for the amount of risk he took, and he multiplied his investment by exactly 10. He went from $16,500 all the way up to $165,000 on one trade in less than 1 month. That is true Wall Street Bets style. ComeAtMe was immortalized at the Shrine of Tendies, and he will be forever remembered as a hero of Wall Street Bets. And here's the moment we've all waited for, dank trade number 1. Traders can gamble on volatility by trading the ProShares Ultra Volatility Short-Term Futures ETF. Traders can also take advantage of arbitrage by trading a box spread, created by a bear put spread and a bull call spread with the same expiration date and the same strike price. If that doesn't make any sense to you, don't worry about it, because it didn't make sense to our hero Irony Man either, and he still made almost $300,000 on it. At first. Mods on Wall Street Bets recognized immediately that what Irony Man saw as an arbitrage opportunity was really him committing financial suicide. Despite the warning, Irony Man was unrelenting. He said, "That's not how it works. I have no money at risk." Irony Man's grave mistake was choosing strike prices that were already well below the current trading price. Irony Man expected that if anybody ever executed the calls that he sold, he could simply execute the calls that he purchased. His total loss would only be $500 per spread. But what makes Irony Man so autistic is that he traded 500 of these spreads. On the same day he opened his spreads, buyers of Irony Man's calls began executing them, forcing him to close his spreads at a loss of $500 per occasion. Irony Man was forced to close 283 of those spreads in the same day. By the time Irony Man even realized what was going on, his Robinhood account was closed and he was down almost 2,000% on his original $5,000 investment. Redditors on Wall Street Bets declared the debacle an immediate classic. Specifically due to Irony Man's immense loss, Robinhood actually wrote a letter to all of their customers informing them that they were banning box spreads from their platform. Once word got out about how much money Irony Man actually lost, even MarketWatch editors were interested in getting involved to get the full scoop. Everyone who trades stock is going to suffer a loss at one point or another. There is no such thing as a perfect trader. But it takes a special kind of person to lose 2,000% on one investment, have their account closed, and forever change the rules of an entire brokerage because of their idiocy. Irony Man has claimed the #1 dankest trade on Wall Street Bets by weaponizing his degeneracy. And I say this with respect. Let us keep Irony Man in our thoughts and prayers. That rounds out our top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your trades, and never take a tip from Wall Street Bets. Ever.